Introducing yourself in a presentation can be incredibly stressful, especially if you're doing it in a language that isn't your first language, like English. So what we have come up with here is a simple 4-step formula that you can use in a variety of different places in order to express yourself the best. When you're standing in front of a room full of people, there's not the opportunity for them to ask you what it is that you do exactly and what that means and what it is that you're doing here talking about this today. So instead of allowing people to ask that question, we want to answer these questions in this 4-step formula that can help you clarify everything from the get-go. Step 1 of this 4-part formula is to give your name and your title. As an example, I would say about myself, my name is Kate Bogar and I am an English coach at englishanywhere.de. Step 2, we get a little bit more complicated. Step 2, we want to explain one of our main responsibilities at our job, or the responsibility that brings you here today. So for example, I can say, I am responsible for teaching you how to introduce yourself. Or, I'm responsible for teaching business English in companies. Now, one thing to remember, you can say, I'm responsible for, or you can say, I'm in charge of. In charge of implies that you're the boss. So if you're the boss, this is great. If you're not the boss, however, I would stick to I am responsible for. Another thing to remember about these ones is that I am responsible for and I am in charge of. The verb that comes right afterwards always has an ing. As an example, I am responsible for teaching you how to introduce yourself. I am responsible for managing 3 departments. I am responsible for selling the newest Tesla cars. I am in charge of advertising. So as you can see here for these ones, teaching, managing, organizing, producing, creating, manufacturing. All of the verbs that come here after always has the ing. Now, of course, if something comes afterwards that isn't a verb, there's no ing. I am responsible for birthday parties. I am responsible for retirement parties. I am in charge of sales. Sales is different than selling because sales is the department, selling is the verb. So if you have a verb there, it always has the ing, but of course, if there's no verb, don't worry about the ing. Now you've already explained your name and your title, and either one responsibility that is the most important or the responsibility that brings you here to this meeting today. The next step is to give 2 to 4 of your daily tasks. What might that look like? First thing you would say is, I manage a team of 3 people. I create new files and documents about advertising. I manufacture airplane technology. So when you're giving these smaller details about your job, the next thing to remember for step 3 is that when the verbs are there, there's never an ing. As you can hear, I manufacture, I create, I teach. So giving these extra details about your daily job, this is when people really start to understand exactly what it is that you do and how you do it. And this is an important detail when presenting in front of a group of people. And last but not least, step 4. In this step, you're going to be giving information about one current project or better put, the project that leads you to this presentation or meeting. In this, again, just like with responsibility and I'm in charge of, the verb will always have an ing. So we've gone from always having an ing to never having an ing to then always having an ing again. So my current project, I'm currently training you on how to introduce yourself. I'm currently researching information about the new Tesla cars. I'm currently planning a hybrid launch for our automotive industry. When you talk about a current project and what you're doing here today, this always has the ing. So, using this simple formula, let's go back through and I will introduce myself. First off, my name is Kate Bogar and I am an English coach at englishanywhere.de. I'm responsible for training business professionals in how to become more confident using English in their day-to-day jobs. I teach in companies, I create all my own lessons, and I also have an online school. I'm currently making a video for that online school to explain exactly how to introduce themselves. Do you see what I did there? We had all 4 of the steps back to back, and now you fully understand what I'm doing here, and then you can continue. So using this idea, head on over to the workbook. There it goes through all of the sentences with you, and then at the end, you've got your own 5 or 6 sentence introduction on how you can introduce yourself. And if you'd like to go one step further, take a video, introduce yourself using this simple 4-step process and send it over to us, and we will gladly let you know if there's anything you can work on to improve. Good luck introducing yourself, my dear students. And of course, if you have any questions, you can send us an email through the online school or find us on Instagram. If you like this video and want access to the free worksheet that comes with it or any more of our material, you can find that at englishanywhere.de.teachable.com. Come join our online school and get confident with your business English today.